Hey guys, this is Jay Calder with Jay Unboxing here, giving you a personal prediction for Juan Francisco Estrada versus Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez 3. And as always, this is just my take. Your prediction can be left down in the comments section below. This is a great fight. In my opinion, one of the best fights to be made this year, so would certainly love to hear your picks, your bets, all that good stuff down in the comments section below. And a little bit of fight info here. As mentioned, we have Estrada versus Gonzalez 3. This is the what would be presumed final fight in their encounters. Currently it is 1-1. This will be taking place at the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona, airing live on DAZN, with Estrada's Ring Magazine Junior Bantamweight title and the vacant WBC 118-pound title on the line. And OMG, I'm looking forward to this fight, he said in his best Valley Gore voice. Such an epic rivalry that I think is still somehow underrated and underappreciated by many, possibly due to their size. However, I don't give a damn about that. This is a great fight. Their first fight was very solid. The second got even better, winning my fight of the year in 2021, and it was closer. And now, at 1-1, we settle the score in one of the best back and forths south of 135 pounds. Possibly of all time, by the way. Does Estrada repeat their most recent result, or will Chocolatito return the favor in the rubber match? Well, let's find out and break this one down. Starting with the champion here, for Estrada to win, I think you want to be first and be last. In their second encounter, that was actually something Estrada had said prior to the fight that he wanted to be. He wanted to be first and last, but he didn't, in my opinion, do it quite enough in that second fight. Too often in their series in general, Estrada has let Gonzalez take control. That has to stop for Estrada to really stamp this rivalry. Jab, offset Gonzalez, then make sure you can come back with that last shot. Make Gonzalez think, but also leave a good impression with the judges. You're trying to make sure that you're controlling the terms, and you have to let them know that. That starts by jabbing him, getting him a little bit off balance, and then pressing him before you're countering and moving out of the way, and letting the judges know this is what you're doing. Be first and be last. I would also say land to the body. You have to slow down the attack of Gonzalez, another thing that you have struggled to do, especially for long spurts in that second fight. The body attack will help slow him down. He's going to be headhunting. He's going to throw anything, truthfully, will Gonzalez, but he'll leave himself open to body shots, and you happen to have great left hooks to the body anyway when you throw them. Naturally, you're going to want to throw them in this fight. At minimum, a handful around 4, 5, 6, something. Get them going, and then the more you see them pay dividends, the more I would hope you would throw them. It will also make the older Gonzalez tire sooner, you would think, which can allow you to finish stronger, which I don't think you did in that second fight. If you're able to slow him down faster, it gives you all the better shot of being able to do so. And I would say stay off the ropes. This is where you are at most trouble against Gonzalez. You need to have angles. You need to be able to box and move and slip and set those traps. Ropes take away most of that. Yes, you can set the occasional trap or maybe turn them, but you haven't done much of that in this rivalry, at least not enough. Moving and staying off the ropes will allow for that to happen much more. Also, again, getting into these judges, it looks bad when Gonzalez is allowed to tee off, even if the exchanges are 50-50. You on the ropes tilts that in his favor, and you're just not looking to do that, of course. You're the younger man, the presumably bigger man, might even be the harder puncher just in terms of single shots. There is no reason you should be willing to be on the ropes anyway, and not getting off the work you're looking to get off. So stay off the ropes, get your work going, and I think you should have some success in this fight. And switching over to Gonzalez, for Gonzalez to win, move him with combinations. Combinations will be key for you. They were in that second fight, especially for large stretches in that fight. They're going to be in this third encounter. You need to be busy. Always been a volume puncher anyway. This is going to have to continue in this fight for you to be successful. You're going to want to make Estrada feel the pace. When you allow him to kind of box and move and be crafty, the exchanges are going to be 50-50 at best. The busier man has a good shot of stealing those sort of exchanges and thus those rounds, and that's what you're going to want to have to do here. It also means, of course, you're actually doing more damage, so you're going to have a better shot of winning those rounds anyway. Also, this can, of course, help get Estrada more on the ropes, which is only going to help further your cause because, again, as I mentioned in Estrada's key to victory, it's only going to look good for you if you're the one constantly pressing him back with action. I would also say keep the left busy. The left hand of Gonzalez can win him this fight if it's busy and being switched up enough, if it's being used with enough nuance in this fight. And Gonzalez has enough nuance to be able to do just that. He has a fast left hook, lines up his other shots, but also the jab can get inside and set up the aforementioned combinations and allow for Gonzalez to do it in a more responsible way. The jab alone can back him up and create the forward momentum Chocolatito needs, but if he can really switch it up by turning it over into that left hook, even turning it into an uppercut at times, I think he's going to have some great success on the night in this fight. And finally, angles and head movement. The biggest issue that I found for Roman in the second fight was that he was a bit too in front of his man at times. He just made Estrada's job easier. At his very, very best, Chocolatito was a guy who could move around, who could come inside, but he was still slipping shots. He was still off that center line, if you will. He needs to revert back to a bit of that. Yes, it's going to be a harder ask at this age. He's in his mid-30s, but it's what he needs to do to really push for a much wider gap in the rounds in this third fight. Doesn't mean you have to move so much you aren't throwing well enough or really planting your feet when you do, but you just need to slip a bit more, turn him a bit more. This will also allow for you to find the better range for your openings anyway with those angles and kind of hit him with shots that he doesn't see coming and make them really matter so that you can really dominate some of those rounds and make them a lot less closer. Now, in terms of my pick here, it's close, but I'm going with Gonzalez in this rubber match. The age is my biggest reason for having any kind of doubts, but neither is crazy young, and Gonzalez has actually looked a bit fresher, or at least better, of the two in their most recent fights anyway. So, if that form holds, I believe Gonzalez will warm into the fight pretty well, pretty early, keep Estrada backing away, and use those combinations to earn those early rounds. I do think he'll add a few wrinkles with angles, a bit more movement, try to turn him a bit more, maybe even get a bit more in and out, just a bit, to allow for better shot selection and to make his punches count a bit more as he's able to get a bit more extension on them. Those middle frames is where the fight will be close, I do believe, as is usually the case in action fights, but I do see the left-hand work and overall pressure of Gonzalez paying off down the stretch as he outworks Estrada in those final rounds of the final third of this fight. Gonzalez via unanimous decision in a competitive encounter. And in terms of the betting odds, they slightly agree with me. You have Gonzalez coming in at a small favorite of minus 155 with Estrada coming in at a plus 120. Probably stems from about two things. The first one is Estrada did not look as good in his most recent outing as Gonzalez did, but also a lot of people do think Gonzalez won that second fight, and he actually on the cards won the first fight. So if you're a Gonzalez fan, you might think he's 2-0 in this series unofficially, but in any event, it's still a very, very close fight in terms of the odds. Personally, you have pretty good value in both. Obviously, a little more in the Estrada fight, because I do think he is a very good selection in this fight, regardless of who you happen to predict. Pretty decent value. So, I mean, you just want to make sure you're going more small to medium on the Gonzalez one, maybe a bit more medium on the Estrada one, just because of the value. You might actually come out pretty well there. Again, nothing too huge a bet, but in my opinion, those are both pretty decent lines for both fighters. And at the time of this recording, I do not have an over-under for when this fight is being put out just yet, but I will post it in the comments and pin it as the top comment when I find it. I'm predicting it's probably something like a 10.5, just because I think it's going to go to the scorecards. I think most people think that as well, but in any event, I'll let you know when I find it and post it down there below. And for my prediction record, you can look in the description box. It'll be posted there. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think won the first and second fight? And who do you think is going to win the third fight? We'd love to hear all that down in the comments section below. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at jcalderon_JOB. You can email me at jonboxing@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you there. Also, be sure to check out jonboxing.com for schedule, results, betting odds, rankings, all that good stuff. And as always, until next time.